WNBA owners, executives, and many people in high power is pretty much spilling the beans about Cathy Engelbert turmoil with players for more.
Look, it's all about Caitlin Clark, but also about the WNBA falling apart from the inside. Seriously, Adam Silver might be the only person who can actually save it right now. You've got angry players, frustrated owners, and a commissioner basically on thin ice. This whole CBA battle could honestly just end the league as we know it. So, what do you think? Should Silver step in, or should the WNBA figure this out on their own? Here's the thing, the league is in total chaos again. It's a full-blown meltdown over this new collective bargaining agreement. And Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, is once again stuck cleaning up the mess.
It's an interesting one because it seems like the WNBA owners hate Cathy Engelbert as much as the players do and as much as the fans do. It genuinely seems like there's not one person in the WNBA ecosystem.
And get this, it's not just speculation. Even people inside the league are quietly admitting that if Silver doesn't step in, this whole situation could spiral completely out of control. So let's talk about what's going on. The WNBA's current CBA, that's the agreement covering player pay, benefits, everything. It expires on October 31st. You might think that's ages away, right? Nope, talks are already completely breaking down. ESPN just reported that negotiations are stalled on literally everything. Revenue sharing, charter flights, salaries. Players are pushing for more money and better travel. But then you have the owners, who just want to stop losing millions of dollars every single season. The crazy part? Both sides actually have valid points. The league lost around $40 million just last year, even with all the hype Caitlin Clark brought. That's not just a little bad, it's brutal. We're talking nearly 3 decades, and the WNBA has still never turned a profit.
We gotta remember, everybody's talking about the players in all of this. The owners have their priorities too. And I think there's a very interesting comment in here from one of the owners about the state of the league, and that maybe the players aren't realizing where the state of the league is exactly.
So, players are asking for a bigger piece of the pie, but honestly, there's not much pie to begin with. Chelsea Gray, the star from the Las Vegas Aces, she told ESPN straight up, "We're not where we thought we'd be." She went through a whole list of things that are still completely up in the air: salaries, player safety, travel, housing, basically all the crucial stuff. But then you have the owners, and they're staring at their financial reports, asking a really fair question: how much more money can we actually afford to lose before someone just decides to walk away?
It says here, changes a must. Have the owners lost faith in Cathy Engelbert? She was obviously booed off. It says once you have that kind of fighting with your best players, one team exec said, it's a death spiral. Tensions brewed throughout the WNBA season as players and coaches expressed frustration with officiating, and as CBA negotiations intensified, but with the conversation shifted especially towards Engelbert during the semi-finals. Obviously, we know about Fee's exit interview and the Caitlin Clark talk, and Cathy Engelbert basically said it wasn't true.
And honestly, we all know it. One owner apparently told ESPN that the league just isn't that strong yet. They said, it's got a long way to go. They warned that if you mess up this momentum now, you're actually messing with the future of the league for generations. Basically, they're saying, stop pretending this is the NBA. And you know what? He's totally right. The WNBA has momentum, sure, but it doesn't have stability. Think about when Caitlin Clark got injured and was out for the rest of the season. That hype train just stopped instantly. Ratings dropped, attendance stalled. Suddenly, all those record-breaking numbers didn't seem so impressive. Some fans even said they completely stopped watching once Clark was sidelined. Others were just done with all the drama. And here's what's crazy. You have a league fighting over how to split revenue that it doesn't even have yet. It's like arguing over who gets the biggest slice of a cake that hasn't even been baked.
Talking about a league that in 2024, with Caitlin Clark, lost $40 million. Still.
The financial reality for the league hasn't really changed much. They've been around since 1997, and they still rely super heavily on the NBA for funding and all those big sponsorship deals. Honestly, without that safety net, the WNBA would have probably folded a long time ago. Yet, somehow, the players are still pushing for more. They want bigger contracts, clauses for revenue growth, and guaranteed charter flights for every single team. Now, listen, I totally get it. They absolutely deserve better treatment. But here's the real problem. None of that matters if the league just keeps bleeding cash. One executive put it perfectly: if you fire the commissioner now, it makes the NBA look weak. But if you keep her, well, nothing actually changes. That her, of course, is Cathy Engelbert, the current WNBA commissioner. And right now, it feels like nobody is really happy with her.
Then Engelbert. One of the lasting images of the WNBA season was Engelbert getting relentlessly booed by the crowd at Phoenix's Mortgage Matchup Center during the Aces Championship Trophies presentation. A smaller group of fans continued the ruckus as she walked off the court and into a tunnel. They was booing her, they was flicking her off, all types of stuff. She got absolutely clowned by the fans.
All right, so players are totally frustrated, owners are exhausted, and fans, well, they're just confused. People are saying Commissioner Engelbert has lost control of the league. And that's where Adam Silver steps in. The thing is, the WNBA technically operates under the NBA umbrella. That means Silver isn't just watching from the sidelines, he's the ultimate boss here. Sources say he's already getting involved behind the scenes, trying to get both sides to chill out before they completely ruin everything. Because, listen, here's the really scary part. A work stoppage, like a strike or a lockout, could absolutely kill the WNBA. One insider said it plain and simple: a work stoppage doesn't benefit anybody. It'll kill this league, and he's not exaggerating. Right now, the WNBA only has one superstar who truly moves the needle, and that's Caitlin Clark. Sure, there are other amazing players, but nobody else consistently brings in massive national attention. So if the league stops playing for months because of contract fights, that new fan base Clark brought in, it's gone. And once fans leave, they usually don't come back. We saw it happen already when Clark got injured. Fans tuned out fast. Now imagine if there's no season at all. Do you really think people will choose a WNBA labor dispute over the NFL, college football, or the NBA? No way. And here's where Adam Silver's patience is starting to wear thin. He's spent years quietly supporting the WNBA, with funding, marketing, and PR help. Now it's turning into a public embarrassment. This was supposed to be the year women's basketball truly arrived, with huge crowds, TV coverage, and social media buzz. Instead, the headlines are all about bad leadership, financial losses, and labor chaos. Silver just can't let that happen, especially when he's trying to build the NBA as a global, inclusive brand. A collapsing WNBA makes the whole NBA organization look weak. So expect him to step in soon, maybe not in public, but he'll be pulling a lot of strings behind the scenes. He has publicly defended Engelbert, saying she's overseen the strongest growth in league history. But even he knows the numbers don't really back that up. Most of that growth has just been hype. Specifically, Caitlin Clark hype. If that fades, the harsh reality kicks in. Empty seats, weak ratings, and no profit. The truth is, the WNBA's business model just isn't working. It's been 27 years of the same story. New slogans, new stars, same financial losses. Now with the CBA expiring and everyone pointing fingers, Silver might have to decide whether to completely rebuild the league or finally let it sink. Honestly, he might not even have a choice, because if players keep demanding more money and owners keep losing millions, the math just doesn't add up. You simply can't run a league forever on just good intentions and NBA charity. So unless something changes fast, the WNBA could be facing its biggest crisis ever. Let's talk about Adam Silver's next move. This guy doesn't walk into a fire unless he's got a solid plan. Silver knows that firing Cathy Engelbert right now would be a huge PR disaster. It would make the NBA look like it lost control of its sister league. And that's not a good look when you're trying to convince sponsors that women's basketball is booming. But here's the real issue. Everyone inside the WNBA knows things aren't booming. Multiple reports confirm that even the owners have lost confidence in Engelbert. One executive told ESPN, "If I had a vote, I'd probably ask for a replacement." That's a brutal statement coming from the people who are actually signing the checks. Because, let's be real, owners aren't saints. They're investors, and they expect returns, not just excuses. After almost 3 decades of waiting, they've had enough. Some have even said they should be compensated for keeping the league alive all these years. Think about that for a second. The team owners want money back from the league that's supposed to make them money. That's how bad things have gotten. You know how everyone keeps talking about how women's sports are growing? Well, the WNBA has been growing for 27 years, and it's still not self-sustaining. Adam Silver knows that if this CBA negotiation goes south, it won't just be bad, it will be catastrophic. A work stoppage or a strike would absolutely crush any momentum Caitlin Clark created this season. Fans are already losing interest. Remember when Clark got injured? Ratings dropped overnight. People just didn't care about the rest of the season. Even loyal Fever fans stopped watching. Now imagine what happens if there's no season at all. Those casual fans who filled arenas this year will move on to football, baseball, UFC, you name it, and they won't come back. One insider told ESPN straight up, "A work stoppage doesn't benefit anybody. It'll kill this league." And they're totally right. The WNBA simply doesn't have the financial cushion to survive a strike like the NBA or MLB can. This league runs on razor-thin margins, and the NBA's goodwill, and the NBA isn't going to keep pumping money into a league that's constantly fighting itself. So this is where Adam Silver steps in. He basically has two huge jobs now. First, calm the owners down, and second, convince the players not to blow everything up. Sounds simple on paper, right? But it's almost impossible in reality, because both sides genuinely think they're in the right. The players say, "We are the product." The owners respond, "You are the product, but you're also the expense." That's the huge tug of war happening right now. And here's the funny part, both sides are ignoring the most obvious truth. Without Caitlin Clark, none of this would even be a conversation. All the league's sudden attention, the increased viewership, the so-called growth, that's all her. But you can't build a stable league on just one player. That's actually the NBA's biggest fear right now, that the WNBA has become a one-woman show. Because the moment she's out, the whole structure could collapse. And Silver isn't stupid. He knows that if the WNBA falls apart, it reflects badly on him too. So what's he actually doing? He's buying time. Expect talks to keep dragging out while Silver quietly reshuffles things behind the scenes. He'll likely pressure Engelbert to secure some small wins, like locking in charter flights, increasing player safety funds, maybe even a slight salary raise, just enough to show progress, but not enough to bankrupt the league. At the same time, he'll make sure owners don't panic and start cutting costs in the middle of the season. Because if just one team folds or refuses to play ball, it could trigger a huge domino effect. But let's be honest, even Silver can't fix everything. This CBA fight is really exposing deeper cracks in the league. For instance, not all the owners are on the same page. The ones tied to NBA franchises see the WNBA as an investment, while the independent owners often see it as a cash drain. So their goals don't line up at all. Then you have the players, who are tired of hearing the league is still growing, while they see NBA-level sponsorships being thrown around everywhere else. They want bigger contracts, better living conditions, and more respect. And they absolutely deserve those things. But again, someone has to actually pay for it. It's like everyone is just pretending money falls from the sky. Meanwhile, the fans are stuck in the middle, tired of bad officiating, confused by the league's PR disasters, and now bracing for a possible shutdown. You can't keep telling fans that women's basketball is rising when every headline is about internal drama. Even Chelsea Gray admitted, "We're not where we wanted to be." That's putting it very lightly. The truth is, the WNBA is playing with fire. They finally have public attention for the first time in years, and they're completely wasting it. When you have a star like Caitlin Clark, driving ticket sales, merchandise, and record-breaking ratings, you're supposed to build around that. You promote her, you protect her, and you use that momentum to lift the entire league. Instead, the WNBA seems allergic to its own success. They want to spread the spotlight evenly, which sounds fair, until you realize that's exactly why nobody watches. Fans don't tune in for equality charts. They tune in for stars. And love it or hate it, Caitlin Clark is the star. She's the one who moves merchandise. She's the reason people who've never watched women's basketball before suddenly care. But the league just doesn't seem to get that. They're so worried about hurting feelings that they're completely missing the business reality. And that's where Adam Silver's intervention might save them, or at least delay the collapse. Because Silver is a businessman first. He doesn't care about narratives. He cares about numbers. If that means reshaping the WNBA's leadership, he'll do it. If it means merging operations more closely with the NBA, he'll do that too. Whatever it takes to keep the lights on. And honestly, he might not have much time left. The next few months will decide whether the WNBA grows or folds under its own internal pressure. Because this CBA negotiation isn't just about contracts, it's about survival. If the owners don't get a deal they can live with, they'll start looking for exit. If the players don't get the respect they want, they'll walk away. And if fans get bored, they'll disappear faster than last season's hype. The truth is harsh. The WNBA doesn't have the fan loyalty or financial cushion to survive another major screw-up. And unless Adam Silver takes full control soon, the league could be one bad negotiation away from a complete collapse. So what do you think? Can Adam Silver really save the WNBA from itself? Or is this just the beginning of the end? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe and share, because this story is definitely far from over. We'll see you next time on Black and White Sports.